What is up, guys? Wraith here, Great Bearded Gaming Society. We are back on our P99-9Lives challenge character. We've been lucky so far, at least, to not have bought the farm. We are only level 3.5. One thing I did remember the other day, I don't know why it took me so long to remember this, is this little dwarf here all the way in the back of Kaladim. Now he is tucked away quite firmly behind several guild houses, all the way in the back in the Paladin Guild, just about as far back as you can get in the zone. But this little dude right here will gladly accept all of these spiffy little bone chips that we've been gathering and trade for some experience, as well as on occasion you'll get some gear. Now you don't have to do all of his, let me just move this over here so I'm not going as far. You do not have to do his little hail, and I'll go through that just like super fast, but basically you can just give him 4 bone chips and bam, he gives us free experience. Now again, it's not a ton, you get some faction, you get a little bit of experience, but basically all you do, like I said, when you go through and you hail the little dude, and he's, hey, look at me, I'm going to do this, defend Kaladim against the undead, won't you, Paladin, blah, blah, blah. And in the new, you'd be able to say, just click that and click through, but in this case, you just type it out. Courage to battle the undead. And what am I missing here? Yeah, but either way, I type something, whatever. But basically, you figure it out, the guy takes 4 bone chips at a time. It takes about as long to unstack the stinking things as it does to do anything else. And I do not believe he will take them any other way. Like, I do not think you can keep them stacked. I think he'll just say no. But as you can see, it's random piece of armor there. Of course, same ones we have now. Again, it's one of those quests that you can get, in a zone. That if we're gonna have this stuff anyway, we might as well use it to our advantage. If I said very similar to like the crushed bone belts or the crushed bone pads when we get a little bit bigger. Said it's not bad experience. You don't really get any like coin unless you get lucky and get some loot, which is fine. I mean, we'll get coin kind of on our own, but basically this will help us pad our level a little bit. Like I said, you'll get some random items that you'll be able to sell. Again, I don't know why it took me so long to remember this little guy. The Bone Chips quest was quite famous back in the day. There are several of them kind of throughout the world of Norath. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Paladin Guild in Felwith would also do it. Might have been the Cleric's Guild. I mean, I'd have to look that one back up. But this little guy here, I believe he was actually one of the ones who gave like the most experience. I mean, we didn't exactly tear through the level bar there, but basically you're handing in something that you can get off a level 2 mob. I mean, with a little bit of patience, you can basically just kind of push the level bar. So I mean, I've been watching kind of around, kind of see what people are doing. I guess the trade-off is, if you're gonna sell a stack of bone chips, you'll get a plat, maybe 2. You might get more mileage trading them in on this guy, depending on kind of what you're doing. It's an easy way to at least pad some levels, pad a little bit within a level. But I'm going to hand in the rest of what we have to this guy. Like I said, we're just above now, like I said, 3.5. It's really hard to tell on the classic servers, the P99 servers, because you don't get the percentages, you don't get the little counter like we usually do. But I'll wrap up handing these guys, to the bone chips, I should say, to this guy, and then we'll jump back and kind of see how we did. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, gang. Alright guys, we are back in just barely missed a goblin train apparently running back out the door, so at least it looks like the little dude got lucky and survived. Now we turned in the rest of our bone chips, as you saw in a little video there, and we got a decent little chunk of experience if you take all things into consideration. We only turned in a couple of stacks, and we still got, I mean, in equivalent, we were a little under half. We got a bubble and some change for just a couple of stacks of bone chips. I mean, with just a little bit of effort, I mean, you could really do a lot better at the lower sizes. Now, I'm not sure how long it holds on for, right? Like how long you're going to get good experience. I do remember quite clearly, now that I've kind of rediscovered the little quest and everything, that it was nerfed quite some time ago on live, because you could just keep doing it for the longest time and basically getting about the same experience. If I remember, there was something about it where people would just do it pretty much forever and just get, you know, a ton of experience. But there are little quests, little hand-in quests like that all over the place. You know, there's so many of them that I'm just so honestly not aware of anymore because it's been so long. We're gonna take a swing here and try our luck against a crag chicken and see what we do. We've not had the best of luck against these guys. They tend to pull ahead of us, so we're gonna see how we do here. Oh, but a good shot. Put us ahead. It's got us pulling ahead. You might be able to handle this chicken here. But yeah, like I said, it's little sneaky quests like that you kind of learn about, you forget about, and you kind of relearn. You know, they're almost new and exciting at this point. But I mean, you can just rack up on the bone chips in the newbie zones really with just not even a ton of effort and kind of do those hand-ins at the same time. Of course, you have like, some classes like Necros, you know, will pay obviously for your bone chips. There's tons of little skeletons out here, and still tons of little dwarf corpses everywhere, even after a lot of people have taken off from the server. There's still lots of good interest. I think when we jumped on, there's still about 39 people. You know, a little bit more of an even spread now between green and teal. Again, I'm slightly behind as I'm not able to film, you know, and capture content every single day, unfortunately. So, I mean, I will be a little behind there. But we are going to keep trucking along on our little newbie zone adventure here and see how far we can push it. I said at some point we're going to start getting a little bit braver, moving out a little bit and finding slightly bigger guys, because all these guys are still nice and blue. And again, we're not even quite level 4. We should hopefully pick up level 4 tonight. I do hope, if nothing else, just by running through here and playing Chop Chop. I'm going to have to go through and refresh myself on some good spots here in Kaladim. It's been forever since I made a little dwarf guy. Much more familiar with the stuff over towards the elves, where you have like the lifts and working your way towards Crushbone and things like that. But like I said, we are gonna sit here and continue to merrily work our way through there. We'll hold on to whatever bone chips we get. Probably try to turn those guys in. So we'll check back in later. That's the only other piece, you know, with that, of course, is as you kind of saw, is we did get several little pieces of armor there, upgrade. I guess in the long run we probably should not have, had we remembered the quest first, I should say, we probably should not have spent even the gold that we did spend getting the few pieces of leather upgrades. Means how we just got pretty much all the same pieces for free. So you live and you learn, as they say. But we should be in pretty good shape, I think, to keep punching out some levels here, as long as these skeletons keep volunteering for us. So we're building up a little tiny bit of plat here, which we will put towards our bandit as we talked about last time, so we can get some pretty serious upgrades there. And I'm getting hit in the back by a goblin. Take that. Of course, the funny thing in some of these instances now with these guys, it's all we have to do is get the one good hit, and we got him, and it's game over, which is fun. Oh, what is this? Oh, we got a chicken on us too. We will stand our ground for a second, see how we do. And we're kind of trading with them at the moment. As long as we get a couple swings here and there, I think we shall be okay. Because when we do hit pretty hard. Come on, little guy. We got this. We got neck and neck. Come on, land that big hit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nope, it is time to boogie. And of course, this time we do not have the sow that we had before. So let's hope we're gonna make this. And of course, I missed. Need to be over there where my guards are at. Run, little guy, run! Run, run, run! Oh, another very close call. Those stinky chickens are still the bane of our little newbie zone, guys and girls. But we made it back yet again, thankfully, safely back to the front of Kaladim. So I think with that, that'll be a pretty good spot, at least to call it for a while. You know, I'll be sitting on the fanny trying to regen. At least on this size, it goes decently quick. But again, a little reminder about the quest. If you're working in the area, if you got a little dwarf, if you're following along, if you're doing the adventures, you know, try to remember some of those old school quests, the bone quests, the belt quests. As we get a little bigger, move towards crush bone, of course, like get the belts and the shoulder pads. You know, we'll try to remember some of that stuff as we're working through some characters. But, you know, pretty good spot. Need to call it again. We got a level and some change. We picked up some more upgrades. Our armor should be moving right along. And, yeah, should put us in pretty good shape for our next episode. Until then, hope everybody had a good time. If you did and you like what we're doing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you guys are following along and maybe doing your own adventure, you're doing your own challenge, you know, what kind of characters do you guys roll first, right? What kind of odd options do you get out there? I'm waiting to see for the first person who comes back with the, you know, erudite Shadow Knight in the middle of nowhere who got stuck blind, alone, in the dark. But let us know in the comment sections down below. And until next time, guys, I hope everybody has a good night, and we will see you next time.